what it is, y'all. Y'all know me as multiple things. Dr. Rave, Minister Rave is cold on Instagram. Baba Rave, Chief Dragon Phoenix. The list goes on, right? But what it is, I'm here bringing y'all a super powerful technique called Tummo breathing, okay? So I have multiple different ways to access this Tummo breath, and I just want to share it with y'all because it's way easier for me to make this video, get it out there, just so that I can just refer y'all to this video instead of actually guiding y'all through it every single time I see y'all in person. Okay, so let's get into it. So Tummo breathing is a modality of very long inhales, holds, and exhales, right? But you want to work your fire up before you get to just having the fire burning, okay? So there's multiple ways to get there. In this video, yeah, we're gonna go through a couple different ways to get there, and then actually how to do the Tummo, be in the Tummo fire presence within inside of the body's alignments of chakras, nadis, meridians, the Ida, Pingala, Sushumna, all of the modalities that make up the aura field. Okay, so it's a mixture of microcosmic breathing and what you can call Tantra, Kundalini, working the lower Dantian and the higher Dantian. It's a mixture of all that, and so that's why I just was like, okay, this is very efficient if I can break it down different ways that you can get there. Okay, so first of all, what it is, y'all, we're gonna go into it, and you're gonna have this practice to upgrade all of your other breathing practices. So what I usually start off with is nitric oxide breathing anytime and every time, just to get that energy of, okay, we have enough nitrogen in our body to open up our heart and have the detox mechanism underway, okay? Because that's super important, because 70% of all detox comes out of the breath, and so you just want to have the energy, the right chemistry and energy to actually get the detox going, but also have the oxytocin and vasopressin, you know, created by the brain into the bloodstream. That way you're in love with the breathing, you're in love with what you're doing. Okay, so usually I do a multiple sequences of things when it comes to just basic nitric oxide breathing, but the simplicity is from your heart to your nose, top of your nose actually, there's this circuit that you just want to activate. So you activate it just through a pulse. You just activate it through a pulse. And so what you're doing is you're just opening and closing. So all right, now what we want to do is we want to open it multiple times and then close it multiple times. So let's say I'm gonna do it, open it 4 times and close it 4 times. Okay, so let's just go ahead and do some angel numbers. 444, 555, 666. Okay, something super simple, and that way we can just move on, and you can practice that a lot more at your crib whenever you're, you know, on the subway or whatever. That is a beautiful breath work that you can just not go too into it, but you can actually just access all those little hormonal and biochemical things that I was just talking about. So let's do it. 444, 555, 666. 555. 666. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and get into the actual Tummo now. I would suggest doing those rounds a couple different times, maybe go up to 7, 8s, 9s, 22s, 33s, if you're like me. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the actual Tummo. So the simplicity is that you want to do some type of alkaline breath of fire, DMT based, where you're really breathing really fast, or even shamanic breathing where you're breathing really fast. What a lot of people know as Wim Hof is kind of the very first basis of the Tummo breath. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm gonna give y'all 3 different types. I'm gonna only do them for 10 seconds each, and then I'm gonna show you exactly what is needed for the actual Tummo breath. So this is gonna be probably under 10 minutes, this video, hopefully. Maybe I'll talk about it a little bit more after, but let's go. So the first one, it could be fire breath. So you wanna do any type of Kriya. The Kriya that I'm gonna do right now is just holding my ball of energy. So with this Kriya, I'm gonna just do breath of fires, where I'm focusing on my root being stimulated from my nose. So all right, so maybe I'll do that for 30 seconds, or maybe I would do this snake-like DMT, like really releasing the cerebral spinal fluid to actually get pumped up and down so that depression can never happen type of breath. So maybe I'm just like with the nose as well. This can be done, and either can be done with the nose or the mouth, just because we already covered the nasal breathing aspects. So, you know, that way you can actually go deeper into either of these, and you can alternate as well. So this one is like, so inhale, stomach comes out, exhale, stomach goes in. All right. Or you can do what is known as maybe the Wim Hof, where it's 2 inhales, 1 big exhale, but really quick. So, or even all right, now all these are doing for about 45 seconds to 1 minute. All right, now you can either do the holotropic circular breathing as well. It's very much a shamanic breathing, so it's kind of the same thing as Wim Hof, just bigger exhales. All of these can work just because they get the energy from below moved up into the cooker, you could say. And then when we actually do the Tummo, the cooking is just ignited. Okay, so that one is like, for instance, all right, you guys, you get it? I know you do. Now, what we're gonna actually do after the 30 seconds is similar to the Wim Hof. We're gonna hold for about 45 seconds, and then we're gonna take an exhale, inhale, exhale, and then inhale, and then squeeze up to the brain. All right, squeeze up to the brain, let it drop. Whenever you get consciousness again, squeeze up to the brain, let it drop. Okay, so the thing about this is that we're not gonna only do that 1 time, we're gonna do that 5 times, okay? We're gonna squeeze it to the brain, that's holding as long as we can, like letting it just kind of all marinate. And then when we need to take a breath, we go ahead and let the exhale out very slowly. And do it again, hold it again. When we need to take a breath, let it go out. All right. And right, squeeze it up to the brain. And all these you can be holding for up to a minute or 2, you know, each time. But what you're doing is you're getting into that super slow holding, you know, and squeezing all the energy up, and you're practicing that because that really needs to be practiced. So this is why Tummo is different than just Wim Hof or the DMT breathing or any of these modalities, because you're really practicing holding that fire and holding your breath in a way that you're self-sufficient, because you're pretty much lighting your whole body up from the hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, and carbon that is being cooked inside of your lower dantian, and lighting your body up kind of very psychedelically in a way, because all of your microbiome and all your cells are getting fed this type of light coming from within. Okay, so that would be 1 round. You do 5 of them, 5 of the Tummo holds for after you've done whatever Wim Hof, DMT, shamanic, or breath of fire kriya. You would do 5 of those, and then you would do another, Wim Hof, shamanic, breath of fire kriya, DMT, whatever type of breathing for another minute, and then let it go. Hold that for however long you need to, maybe 45 seconds, maybe 2 minutes, and then 5 more. All right, 5 more of them. Now, again, you can be holding for up to a minute, 2 minutes. It really is endless. I've held my breath for up to 7 minutes before, 8 minutes before. And I'm not really counting all the time when I'm doing these practices. I just count, randomly, just to see where I'm at with, my life. So this has been 7 years, 8 years for me practicing Kundalini and these breath work and meditation techniques. So now I'm just, okay, it's time to roll them out a little bit. As far as just like where the efficiency is for the human species, that I can say that, yeah, every human species can definitely tap into this. Every race, every species, you know what I mean? So where I'm at now with it is, okay, we're going to do 3 rounds, each round having 5 Tummo breaths. All right. And then at the end, go ahead and just end out how you began. Maybe you want to hit some, different pranayama techniques with the nasal, but go ahead and end out with the nasal breathing and the nitric oxide breathing and a lot of the sips, so that you can just have your heart coagulated to all that love that you just got into, and make it a holistic practice. Make sure you're going throughout the rest of your day, the rest of your night, with your nasal breaths very aligned. Of course, you just did some really good work, but now it's time to integrate that work through nasal breathing throughout the whole day, being conscious of your nasal breath. So you're gonna go ahead and maybe even go up to 20. Let's see, if I'm gonna do 19 right now. That might have been more than 19, but you see that it's very possible. And this is just through a lot of practice and cultivation. So all right, so I've gone up to the 50s, the 60s with these, and that's just because I practice this so much every single day. This is my love and my passion to master the breath, master my lungs, master my whole body, because the whole body is regulated by hormones, which are regulated by the breath. Okay, so this is self-mastery of this avatar that we have. All right, so let's go ahead and do 1 round of these Tummos, just so I can show you today. Just because Wim Hof is most popular, I'm gonna do Wim Hof, and then I'm gonna do not the whole round, but just one of them. Okay, and I'm gonna do a short Wim Hof, and then just one short one. I'm not gonna do the whole thing, but just so that y'all can get into that feel of stillness with me real quick. Okay, so we're gonna cut this as short as possible, just so that you have this in your repertoire of like, yeah, I don't have a heavy tool, I have something short that I can always go back to and just like learn from, the vibration that I'm actually giving out right now, the frequencies that my body is exuding into this phone, rippling to you in this quantum space and time, whatever now that you're in, whatever parallel that you're in, whatever base of matter and pattern that you're in. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and go into the Tummo, 15 seconds of Tummo. I'm gonna hold for maybe 20 seconds after the Tummo, and then I'm gonna inhale and do, after the Wim Hof, and then go into, pardon my mistake, I'm gonna do 20 seconds of Wim Hof, hold for 20 seconds, hold for 20 seconds, release, and maybe hold for another 20 seconds, just so you can get the feel, just so you're leaving this with that reminder. Okay, so let's go into the Wim Hof. seconds. All right, so I'm letting the air out. Hold them for 20 seconds. You can hold it for way longer. You can also preference. All right, now that I've held for 20 seconds, I'm gonna hold for another 20 seconds. So that'd be 2 rounds after this. This will be my 3rd one. Again, you can do this way longer, way longer. I'm just doing it super short for you. I'm doing this super short for you. You can hold for way longer. Minutes. And we're squeezing everything from the dantian, all this heat that we cooked up, and we're squeezing and we're squeezing and we're just letting it just be a fire that is everlasting. Everlasting fire, squeezing, clenching everything from down low, squeezing it up, having a straight spine, neck maybe down a little bit. We're definitely rolling the tongue back, focusing on the 3rd eye. Again, you can be hitting this for minutes. Everlasting fire can last for minutes. You know, when you're releasing, you definitely can, just take like as long as an exhale. And you can sit there, maybe before you do your next round of whatever type of fire breathing or so that you're gonna do. You can just sit there and take like the silentest breaths, the silentest inhales, and hold. Of course, you're in that silence, and then take a silent exhale, and because you're still getting all the benefits of the fire by just being super quiet with your breath and just feeling like, wow, the fire is like really around me right now. All right, y'all, so this is how you have more and more awareness of your aura field and the heat, the thermodynamics that is actually in your aura field. So that way you can, pick up on the wisdom of life a lot more consciously, because literally your aura field is your mind. Your mind is, very much either a barrier or a tool for you to access super consciousness. And so when you your aura field is your mind, and so when your mind and aura field is activated in that way, you can move throughout life picking up 10 times the wisdom, in less amount of time. But of course, time is different, space is different, because consciousness is more active inside of these fields that you can be, tapped into. You become a star, and stars have the ability to have things circulate around them, right? And we get to have more awareness of how our reality is always circular around our being, our ness, our isness. Okay, so that be that, we are going to say praises and cheers just to whatever you're about to get into as far as the rest of your life after this video. Come back to this video as much as you need to, just to get the frequency and the energy of mastery, alchemy, being a scientist of love, being a scientist of love. You know what I mean? Like, this is the prerequisites to a lot of the shamanistic things and learning law of the universes. You can learn these things, but this is how you kind of feel them out is through the breath, and the mastery of immortality, breatharianism, all comes through these types of masteries. Okay, these types of masteries get us to those points where it is very acceptable, it is very approachable. All right, so again, this is your Sultan, your Sovereign, Minister Rave, Baba Rave, Dr. Rave, Shungite Silver. All right, Chief Dragon Phoenix. Thank you all for joining me and sharing these plasmic moments with me. May your days be very glorious. Alhamdulillah, inshallah.